What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to another episode of my monthly Q&A series, Q&A 26.0. It's your opportunity to ask me whatever question you want, whether it's the games I play, Grand Theft Auto, Mafia, Red Dead, gaming in general, YouTube, personal views, opinions, etc. Whatever you want to ask me, with certain exceptions. There's always exceptions, right? But you have the opportunity to ask me whatever question you want during my monthly Q&As, and we have several submissions via YouTube, Twitter, and the Facebook page. So we're going to go alphabetically this time. And FYI for next month's Q&A, I'm probably going to do it maybe like not the last week of July, but maybe the week before, because chances are the last week of July will probably have the third and final Mafia III expansion. Maybe, maybe not. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but I think that's the tentative timeline for Sign of the Times. So if that does happen, we will get a Q&A in late July. Probably either the second to last week in July. Just letting you know, for all of you that missed out on your opportunity to submit a question for Q&A 26.0. And next week, we'll have the Discuss series back. And yes, I do have a Discuss question topic that we will have at the end of this video. And with that out of the way, let's get to your questions. Starting off with Brian off of Twitter. GeauxBurns, my question. Do you think of celebrity obsession? Have a good day. Well, I hope you have a good day as well, Brian, and everybody taking the time to submit questions as well as watch this Q&A video. And I'm guessing you were asking me about my opinion regarding celebrity obsession. And I think it is definitely a problem, whether you're obsessed with a movie star or a sports star, a reality star, even a YouTube star or a Twitch star. I mean, it's okay to have a favorite. It's okay to have one that you really like, that you're a fan of, or several that you like. But unfortunately, when it comes to, so-called celebrities, whether they're like radio stars, TV stars, movie stars, sports stars, like I said, or even reality and porn stars. Of course, I have more respect for porn stars than reality stars, to be honest. But I do think that some people get a little too obsessed, and that's where the term fanatic comes from. Fans. Fans is short for fanatics, and there are some fanatics out there that just worship this celebrity or that celebrity, be it whatever genre they happen to be in. And it's sad because while I enjoy doing what I do as a content creator, and a lot of the time it's 50-50, informing you guys about news regarding the games I cover, Grand Theft Auto, Mafia, Red Dead. Also I try to entertain you guys, to make you laugh, to give you a good time. But at the same time, I don't consider this to be the most important job or thing in the world. There's people out there that are actually doing real life-saving things, like doctors, nurses, teachers, and people that are out there like medics, EMTs, firefighters, for example, even police, the good police. There's obviously bad cops out there, but most of the police are good. They generally, do believe in law and order and justice for everybody. There's always a few bad apples in the bunch, and they make everyone else look bad. But there are people out there, men and women, in various careers and fields that I admire a lot more because they do try to make the world a better place. At least the world of their community, where they live locally, in their town, their city, in their state, in their country, whether it's the US, Canada, Ireland, the UK, Mexico, Europe, Asia, elsewhere. So there's a lot of men and women out there in various other jobs that I think that should be admired a lot more than celebrities, because while celebrities, love entertaining you, and some of them like to have their opinions, and some of their opinions are good opinions, some are bad opinions. It just depends on your point of view on that subject, I suppose. At the same time, I think that we hold celebrities a little bit too high up on the pedestal, and we neglect other people that are far more important, like scientists that are trying to create better things to make the world better health products, and better technology, trying to maybe even get us off our planet one day. And colonizing space, the moon, perhaps even Mars and beyond. So those are the people I think we should like hold admiration for, like the everyday people, the hardworking people that really do try to make a difference. Even, people that, are, on trains, are in charge of, shipments of freighters and boats and planes, and, truck drivers. I consider them, great contributors of the modern society, and without them, we'd be seriously screwed. So yeah, I think, Brian, we do hold celebrities in a little too high regard, and I just think sometimes we don't give other people, credit, where credit is due, and I wish the celebrity worship, would just simmer down just a little bit, just a little. I mean, it's okay to have your favorite actor, actress, like I said, or favorite sports star. But at the same time, there are people out there doing a lot more important things in the world. Okay, so next, we move on to Elaine. Of all the games you've played growing up, which one has been the most challenging and memorable? Thank you, Elaine. And I'm going to talk about one of my favorite series. I think I've mentioned it a few times. Not Grand Theft Auto, by the way. It's up there in probably my top 5, top 3. But The Legend of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda, is probably one of the most challenging games I've probably played in my life as a kid. And I know some of you out there are like, well, you never played Dark Souls before, GeauxBurns. That's a challenge. Obviously. I mean, I don't like really, really hard video games. I like a little bit of a challenge, but I don't like it to where I'm getting my ass handed to me every 5 seconds, because as some of you know, I do get a little salty. If you've watched some of my episodes this past week, for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you may have noticed that once or twice or a few times. Well, I do like to have fun, though. And yeah, whenever I was playing the original Zelda game back on the NES, I loved it. And it probably opened my eyes to the possibilities of open world games, because in a way it kind of is an open world game. But despite the fact I have beat a few Zelda games in my time, the one Zelda game I never beat was the original Zelda. I knocked out a few dungeons. I never made it all the way to Ganon. I collected several Triforces. Nope. Never beat The Legend of Zelda. Always meant to, but I'd get to a point where I'd get murdered so bad, killed left and right, and I couldn't get past this dungeon or that dungeon. And as a kid, I would rage quit. I was just as salty then as I am now. The only difference is, I guess I'm a little bit more mature most of the time. But yeah, I would say, despite the fact that it was very challenging, I still absolutely love Zelda, even though I never successfully beat the first Zelda game. I'm kind of ashamed of that, but at the same time, I have beaten a few others when it comes to the Zelda franchise, including most recently Breath of the Wild on Switch. Thanks for the question, Elaine. Moving on to Gordon. I'm trying to start my own YouTube channel. What advice could you give to me who is just starting out? And I did send you a link to my top 10 YouTube tips for aspiring content creators. I hope that proved helpful, Gordon. And for anyone else that are also looking to get into YouTubing, either for fun or as a passion, or there's something specifically you want to have a YouTube channel for, not just gaming, but maybe something else as well, feel free and check out my top 10 video on that. In fact, I think I will post it at the end of this video in the random section. So obviously not so random. I used to keep it on random, but it would like stick to the same video over and over again. And I thought that it would just randomly pick a video, but it would always, like, the first time I did it, it was always the same damn video. I'm like, this isn't random at all. So I just pick whatever video I want to put over in the random section. So I'll do that at the end of this video for everyone else besides Gordon. Also looking for tips, advice that are interested in becoming content creators like myself and others. So hopefully that will prove helpful. Moving on next to Juan off of Facebook as well. What are your thoughts regarding Agents of Mayhem, and what do you think the next Saints Row game will be like? Okay, so I do like Saints Row. I haven't mentioned that before. And I like several open world games like Saints Row, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, Mafia. The list goes on and on. I love open world games for the most part. And I'm not really feeling Agents of Mayhem, even though they say it has nothing to do with Saints Row. It just feels a lot like Saints Row. And I don't even know why they're bothering. I think it's a first-person shooter. And there's so many FPSs out right now. I mean, there's Overwatch. There's Destiny 2 coming out this fall. There's Call of Duty World War II. There's going to be Battlefront 2. The list goes on and on when it comes to FPS games. And I just don't see it. I don't see Agents of Mayhem doing anything, unfortunately. And I think that Deep Silver should have seriously just focused on the next Saints Row game instead. And what's interesting is I think there's actually going to be Saints Row characters, because I did see a pre-order for Gat. So you can be Gat in Agents of Mayhem, even though this has nothing to do with Saints Row, even though they're using the Saints Row's colors and they're using a fleur-de-lis, which is the symbol of the Saints. Yeah. It's just funny. But regarding the next Saints Row game, I really would have preferred, like I said, that Deep Silver would have simply just focused on that instead. Because I'd much rather have a new Saints Row game, even if it was a complete reboot and they went in a completely different direction. Hopefully they added still had some over-the-top humor, because you got to separate Saints Row from Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto has a lot of humor as well, but Saints Row has it to a whole different level. But yeah, I would have much preferred a Saints Row game, but I don't even know if they're going to do a Saints Row game down the road, to be honest. But I guess only time will tell. It depends, I guess, on how successful Agents of Mayhem will be. But going up against all these other FPSs, I have my doubts, to be honest. Next, we go to Kevin Boston off of YouTube. Before I get to my question, I feel the need to point out that we are past May 23rd, and then we are in June, so I guess all the past deadline now okay, so what Kevin's alluding to is in last week's Discuss video, at the end, of my Discuss videos, whenever I have a Q&A coming up, I will promote the Q&A. Okay, coming up, blah, 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 the next Q&A. And for some reason, I put the deadline May 23rd, as you can see on the screen, instead of June 23rd. I mean, June just flew by so fast, and I just wasn't even thinking about it. And I didn't even say it in the video, to be honest. I forgot to say it. I forgot to mention a deadline, but I wanted to put up a deadline. And then I looked on my calendar and I looked at, it said 6/23/2017. And for some reason, my mind just did not commute the 6 is not May, 6 is June. But whatever. It happens, okay? I make plenty of mistakes, okay? And if you have a problem with me making mistakes in videos, then you've come to the wrong channel, because I can and will have little faux pas here and there. I'm only human, as far as I know. Okay, continue with Kevin's question. My question is, when you're launching the GeauxBurns Cooks... Okay, this is a joke that we talked about in one of the live streams. Another joke. So Kevin's being a comedian today. Ha, 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 ha. All right, so during one of my live streams, Kevin sent me a message for the vlogs channel, and he was wanting me to, cook something or do a vlog about his favorite dish in Canada, which is poutine, I think, or poutine, however you pronounce it. It also happens to be Aswin's favorite dish, one of my friends, who is also a fellow content creator and streamer, also Canadian. Anyways, so it was something that turned into a joke in one of the live streams about me starting another channel called GeauxBurns Cooks. And no, I am not putting on a chef hat. I'm not putting on an apron. I'm not going to be exercising any culinary skills, because I have none to begin with. So I think I have enough channels. I have this channel. I have the vlogs channel, which I occasionally like to put a vlog up. I try to do it weekly, but sometimes I just don't have an idea for a vlog. And like Monday, I didn't really have an idea, so I didn't do it. It's a struggle sometimes, because I feel like I've covered a lot of topics in the past year of me putting up vlogs over there. By the way, if you haven't checked out the vlogs channel, here's a plug for it. Go over there and check it out, because there might be some stuff worth watching. I don't know. It's I consider it to be kind of informative. It's just something I do on the side, and also have the political channel that I don't really do much on anyways. So I don't feel like a fourth channel is in my future. No thanks, Kevin. And no, I'm not doing anything with a Canadian accent. I would not even know where to begin. South Park makes fun of Canadians. or you boat to go do this or whatever. That's as far as I'm going to go, okay? I love Canadians just as much as I love everybody else. My Irish subscribers, my British subscribers, my European subscribers, my Asian subscribers, my Mexican subscribers, my South American subscribers. All of you are part of the GeauxBurns Nation. And yes, sometimes I throw on a fake accent. Usually it's an Australian accent when I'm trying to do a Scottish accent. But I love my Australian subscribers as well. And I only do it because I don't know why I do it, to be honest. I think I should just stick with my own accent. So anyways, no fake Canadian accent from me today. Next, we go to Usheen from Ireland. I got the luck of the Irish on my side. I have so many Irish subscribers now. It's crazy. But you know what? I do not mind. GeauxBurns, will we see Red Dead Redemption 2 at PSX in 2017? I honestly do not know. We didn't see Red Dead Redemption 2 at E3. That's no surprise to me because Rockstar has rarely given any care for E3. It's possible we may see it at Gamescom, maybe a teaser or something, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think Rockstar, if they do put out another trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2 eventually, or Red Dead Online, I think we'll probably see it on their own terms. And they'll just make a video. They'll post a video. They'll promote it through their websites. And they won't even bother with going to PSX or PAX or Gamescom. But then again, they could. I don't know, to be honest. But I guess we will find out eventually. Next, we move on to Phoenix. How much wood would a woodchuck if a woodchuck would? What is with the questions today? I mean, really. To answer your question, Phoenix, 37.
37.
I'm 37?
Going to class.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 37. Next, we go to Simon off of Twitter. Mr. Burns. Wow, I'm feeling quite professional right there. Okay. Mr. Burns, in your opinion, does Hangar 13 warrant all the criticism for Mafia 3, or should we cut them some slack as they are new developers? And I've said this a few times in previous videos. While we cannot ignore some of the graphical issues of Mafia 3, and there were a lot more at launch, at the same time, I also have pointed out that this is their first, game that they made together. And a lot of these developers working at Hangar 13, it's not their first rodeo. They're not green. But at the same time, this is their very first game that they put together. And I think it's a learning experience for them. I think that they are probably under considerable pressure from their publisher, Take-Two, in order to make the October deadline back in 2016. So I don't think it's entirely on them. I think that, they could have been given more time, maybe 3 to 6 months, to finish polishing the game out a little bit more. But they had to meet a deadline probably. And they don't have the same kind of sway or pull or push as, say, another developer under Take-Two. Rockstar, for example. Rockstar can get away with delaying a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 from fall 2017 to spring 2018 because they got a lot more leverage. Hangar 13 is just a brand new developing house. They're small, and so they kind of have to, get something out whenever Take-Two tells them to get it out. Like with the October 2016 launch day. So I don't entirely blame them. But hopefully they've learned a lot, and they have made some improvements to Mafia 3. It's not 100%, but definitely runs a lot better than it did on launch. And I really do think if that team stays together, that their next IP will be good, whether it's a sequel or a prequel to Mafia, or if it's something else entirely. And we've discussed some possible ideas for Hangar 13 in a previous discuss video. But anyways, hopefully they'll get a chance at another game. I get the feeling they will because, like, on their Twitter, they're always, like, putting out job openings. So, obviously, Take-Two's keeping this development house around. So, they probably have something else in the works. And hopefully, their next game will be awesome. And they'll have come a long ways from Mafia 3. Even though Mafia 3, in my opinion, is still a good game. It's very well written, great characters. It's even fun, but does have some issues, if we're being honest. Next, we go to Steven, also off of Twitter. We've been getting a lot of Twitter questions today, and it's also a Mafia question. Would you like a Mafia game set between 3 and 4? So, actually, Steven did correct himself. He meant a Mafia game set between Mafia 2 and 3. Just FYI. Which tells the story of Joe and how he became an employee for Leo. Thanks for the question, Steven. And I'm going to be honest right now, and I may have mentioned this before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Or maybe you've noticed by I guess the tone whenever it comes to the little Easter egg at the end of Mafia 3. And for those of you that don't know what happened, I'm going to give you a spoiler right now. By the way, the game has been out for a while. And either you've played the game and you know the ending as well, or you watched my Mafia 3 Let's Play. But at the end, we see Leo's driver, who is obviously an older version of Joe. But at the end of Mafia 2... it's alluded to that Joe's possibly going to die. And even Vito says, in a side quest during Mafia 3, that, he tried to find out what happened to Joe, and Joe escaped Empire Bay, but eventually they found him in Chicago, Lost Heaven, whatever it is called now. Anyways, and from Vito's point of view, Joe was dead, but a lot of people believe that may have been another character from Mafia 2 that was actually found in Chicago and killed brutally. But I think that it felt more real, that there was consequences to Vito's actions in Mafia 2, and not just the consequences of him basically being banished from Empire Bay and having to go live in New Bordeaux under Sal Marcano. I felt like that, unfortunately, Joe had to pay for his the life he chose to live, in organized crime. So I don't know. I mean, I think that I would much rather have a new Mafia game with maybe even completely new characters set in Vegas, whether it's a 1970s Vegas or even a 1950s Vegas. That's where I would prefer the Mafia franchise to go. I would just want them just to completely give us some new characters and go to Vegas or whatever they're going to call it and just start from scratch. But, they always like to throw in characters from previous Mafia franchises. So I don't know if we'll ever see Leo again. I don't know if we'll see Vito again or if we'll see Joe, but who knows. And our final question comes once again off of Twitter from the Vanilla Gorilla. Do you wish they added contract missions like assassinations for gun running? I don't know why they would, because we already have several assassination type missions in the game. Like several of the contact missions are assassination themed. So if you want to do something like that, just go to jobs, go to missions, and a variety of them are, assassination themed. And we used to have free roam assassinations from Lester, Trevor, and Gerald. And unfortunately, they took those away whenever they added the free mode updates. The free mode events? I preferred what we used to have in free mode. Lester calling you, or Trevor, or Gerald, and just going off and doing those various assassination jobs or going after the armored truck. But now we have the free mode events that no one even bothers with these days. So, I don't know. I think there's already several assassination-themed things and content in Grand Theft Auto Online already. Plus, if somebody gets a bounty, that's technically a contract. Someone has a $9,000 bounty on them for this or that, and you're supposed to go assassinate them in order to get the money, the $9,000 or $1,000 or whatever it is. So technically, that's a form of a contract mission. So there's already assassination-themed missions in Grand Theft Auto Online. You just have to go all the way back to the contact missions in order to find them. But anyways, thanks to everybody off of YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook for submitting questions for Q&A 26.0. And for those of you that have stuck around, let us talk about what's happening in the Discuss video next week, which you will be able to partake in. So next week's Discuss topic is your favorite YouTubers. They can be content creators or streamers, as long as they have content or stream on YouTube. They can even stream on Twitch, but they have to have something on YouTube as well. Okay, so I know a lot of streamers out there, they stream on Twitch as well as YouTube and Mixer and elsewhere, but specifically your favorite YouTuber or your favorite YouTubers. There is one rule though, one catch. That's right, you cannot include me as your favorite YouTuber. This is not about worshiping me. This is not about building me golden statues in my honor. I'm curious about who you guys watch besides me. And why do you watch them? Why do you like this YouTuber? Why do you like that content creator? Or what is it about that streamer that you love? Let me know your favorite YouTuber, our YouTubers, below in the comment section by this coming Friday, June 30th. Not May 30th, June 30th, this Friday. Let me know below in the comment section via Twitter, our Facebook, or even email, GeauxBurns@gmail.com.
37?